It's time to head to Hogwarts for the holidays. I'm Professorvoqas, and this is Harry Potter, Wizard Unite.
Hello, Professor. I didn't see you there.
December's about to be upon us, and the first Brilliant event is kicking off December 1st. It goes through the 8th, which is Tuesday to Tuesday. As per usual, 11 a.m. Pacific Time to 11 a.m. Pacific Time. You should know this by now, unless you're brand new, and now you know. As per usual, there are 5 brilliant Foundables during this, but they have thrown a little twist, something a little bit different in this. Starting off with the portrait of Salazar Slytherin and the portrait of Helga Hufflepuff. And both of them will be on the overworld map, so they'll be the purple beam things that you're actually going to go around and have to collect and that kind of thing. And both of them are going to take 20 fragments to be able to place the image in the registry, but you're going to hold off on placing the image in the registry till the bonus tasks, and we'll talk about that when we get there. As per usual, there will be a Fortress Foundable. It'll be Brilliant Argus Filch. And you'll need 3 fragments to place him. You'll have to use the Brilliant Runestones from this event in fortresses, and it's not a guaranteed drop. The higher the chamber you are, the greater your chance. So you might have to run more than 1 fortress, certainly, to get those 3. You might have to run up to 6, 9. It really depends on your luck. The last 2 Brilliant Foundables for this event are the Fat Friar and the Bloody Baron, and they've changed it a little because they used to give us a fragment. They used to give us 1 fragment of one of the 5 Foundables, and we would just place that image, and that was just kind of how it was done, and usually the 4th task. This time, both of these guys are from Portkeys. They both only take 3 fragments to place. It usually is 5, so that's changed. The Bloody Baron will be silver Portkeys, or portmanteau, that you have to unlock, and then the Fat Friar should be the kind of traditional, the Brilliant Purple. You should be able to tell the difference between them on the map. At the end of the bonus tasks, if you do make it that far, they do give you 3 fragments of each of them to be able to place those images. But I'm actually going to recommend that you try to walk both of them and have their images ready to place, because it's something we need to do in the bonus tasks, and we'll talk more about it when we get there. As per usual, there will be bundles in the store for this event, and when you unlock the bonus tasks, there'll be 1 more bundle will become available at that time. None of them are anything extra special that hasn't been given before. It's usually not something I partake in, but there is a complimentary gift, of course, that has tonic for trace detection ingredients, so you can brew one, as well as 25 spell energy. So just make sure you claim that whenever it's kind of the most convenient for you. Moving on to the tasks themselves. The first set of tasks, just like every other event, it's collect 2 ingredients or portmanteau off the ground. Since you do have to pick up some portmanteau, maybe make some space, and then go ahead and start picking up those portmanteau that you can walk. But you can pick up ingredients, you can pick up energy, whatever. Now this is something new. You can see the reward right here. It's going to get you 2 gifts because it's the holidays. These are gifts not for you. These are gifts for you to give to somebody else. Preliminary reports, and hopefully this holds up, but sometimes information can change. But these first 2 gifts should be basic ingredient gifts that you receive, and then you can just give them to other people. If you do not have space, there is a warning for this, that if you don't have space to accept gifts, when you finish that, you just get nothing. It doesn't let you go over 30 gifts. So I would say make sure you have gift space if you even want these. Now these are basic ingredient gifts, so if you don't really care about that, then you don't need the space. But there'll be more gifts in the later tasks that we'll show, so you may want space for those things. Next up is to brew tonic for trace detection 2 times. You'll get 2 powdered Dragonclaw for that, which again, brewing is really just collecting them. So I would go ahead and start brewing them now and have them ready to go for tomorrow. And if you haven't, don't forget you're going to get ingredients for 1 of them in the complimentary gift. So if you didn't have the ingredients, you can at least brew the 1 off of that. But my recommendation would be to brew these in advance. Last up for the first set of tasks is to return 12 Helga Hufflepuff portraits. It's going to get you 2 invigoration drafts, and these are just on the overworld map, purple beams. It's either going to be Helga or Salazar Slytherin. So just click on those until you get 12. And then you'll go ahead and get those 2 invigoration drafts. And if you do all that, you're going to get your family experience, you're going to get your normal experience, family experience for this brilliant event, but 2 restricted section books, that's really the main thing, and some energy. Moving on to the second set of tasks. The first one is to earn 7,000 wizarding experience from traces. That's going to get you a silver key. Keep in mind, if it's from traces, it means it's going to have to be on the overworld map, and it's going to have to be returning Foundables. Fortress experience doesn't count, none of that. But if you do have a Barufio's on, that will still double and count toward this, which works out because if you look at one of the tasks here, the third one, you need to use Barufio's 2 times anyway. So just pop that and start using it, and that 7,000 is going to come a lot easier. For using the 2 Barufio's, you're going to get a dark detector. And the middle task here you can see is collect 5 brilliant event runestones. It gets you 6 snowdrop. When you get to this task, if you have already opened your registry, you're going to need to collect 5 by ranking up 5 more times, essentially. So my kind of second bit of advice after the brewing the tonics is don't open your registry until you get to this step. So in the first set of tasks, you collect the Helga Hufflepuffs. You'll probably have gotten some Salazar Slytherins. All those things are getting you family experience. If you happen to have walked to Portkey during that time, that's also going to have given you probably some family experience. That's actually random, so you may get none, you may get a bunch. But even the rewards from the previous task awarded you brilliant event family experience. So don't open the registry, because until you open the registry, you don't actually get awarded those runestones. So if you wait until you get to this step, open up that registry, it'll rank you up however many times. If you get 5 times, great, you've got them all. But even if it's only 3, that's going to be 3 less times you have to rank up to get past this step. Now you do have to use Barufio's 2 times, so you're already having to kind of grind for a while. So you'll probably end up grinding some of your brilliant Foundables at this point. Although the 7,000 wizarding experience is going to be a lot easier if you're going after higher threat Foundables than just the event Foundables. They don't award a lot of experience, but you may need to do it anyway to help you with getting those runestones. If you do all that, you're going to end up with some wizarding experience. You're going to get some more family experience for this brilliant event, but kind of too late for the runestone thing. Some spell energy, and then look there, you can see it's another gift to give to other people. Again, preliminarily, this is supposed to be a Barufio's ingredient. Thing is, even if it isn't, it doesn't really matter. When you get it, you can go look at what you got, but this should be a Barufio's ingredient gift. Moving on to the third set of tasks, return 15 Salazar Slytherin portraits. That's going to get you 3 Bitterroot. Again, this is just an event Foundable you're going to see all over the map. So you just got to go find 15, and it doesn't matter how many you found already. You've got to go and get 15 when you get to this step. Next is to brew 7 potions, any type, and it's going to get you 4 Snowdrop. To do this, don't forget, again, you don't actually have to be brewing them. It's when you're collecting them, you get credit for it. So after you brew the 2 tonic for trace detections, as soon as you are free, really, if you've already brewed them before the event begins, and as soon as you collect those 2, immediately start brewing 4 more potions. Again, extimulos, healing potions, something short, so that you can have all 4 of those as you come into the step. You can collect all 4 of them. Then you've only got 3 left to brew to finish this out. Now, if you happen to want to use a rental cauldron or anything, you could actually have 3 queued up over there and 4 queued up in your regular one and do all 7 at once. Last step is to use 5 potions, any type, in wizarding challenges, and it gets you 3 Leaping Toadstool, which are great for Barufio's, but you already used them in the last step. But it's great for future brewing. So just head into a fortress or 2 solo with others. It really doesn't make a difference during this step, at least, and just drop potions. Again, for me, it's probably going to be extimulos, and I still have a bunch of healing potions that have been rewarded to me, and sometimes I'll do a little higher chamber than I normally can handle, knowing I'm going to pop healing potions to get myself through it. And if you do all that, you're going to end up with some, again, wizarding experience, family experience. You're going to get 5 restricted section books, some spell energy, and then 2 gifts during this step. Again, make sure you have space for these. These are just basic spell energy gifts, though, so nothing too special, not something you probably don't already have laying around. Last up is the 4th set of tasks. First one, pretty standard, win 5 challenges with 3 or more teammates. It gets you a spell book. Again, you don't need 3 people, or sorry, you don't need 4 people, you need 3 people. You and 2 other people does meet this requirement. While you're doing that, hopefully you defeat 25 foes in wizarding challenges. That gets you a spell book. If you don't, you can always go back and solo a couple times to Ruins 4, Ruins 5. That usually gets you 3 foes, sometimes 4 if you're lucky in Ruins 5. But 3 at a time, you'll end up being able to knock this out pretty quickly. Last up is to get 4,550 wizarding experience from challenges. That gets you 2 spell books. Now, from challenges means you can't, it's not from placing images in the registry or anything like that. You have to go into fortresses, which you're already doing, so no big deal there. but it is wizarding experience. So if you use a Barufios, that does double your wizarding experience in challenges. So that would double what you're trying to accomplish here, was to get 4,750. So when you do this, I would recommend, at least if you can use the Barufios, use the Barufios. If you can't, do higher level chambers with higher level runestones. That is going to get you more wizarding experience. Or it's simply just going to be a matter of you running enough lower level fortresses to just build up to that 4,750. Again, since Barufios doubles your experience, it literally will take you half the time to meet that requirement if you're on that Barufios. If you finish all these tasks, you're going to get 50 gold coins, 5 Defense Against Dark Arts books, 5 Restricted Section books, Spell Energy, and then you're also going to get a new gift. This is an Extravagant Energy gift. So that's a little bit better, obviously, to send to friends. So that's what this is supposed to be. My recommendation during those challenges is to at least use some of the Brilliant Runestones from this event, at least enough to get you the 3 fragments you need to place Argus Filch. Don't place him, but just enough to get that. But then we'll move on to the bonus task. As you can see in the bonus task, the very first thing is to place 5 images on the Brilliant Moving Staircases registry page, and it's going to get you 1 spell book. So this is where the Brilliant Moving Staircases page is the one for this event. So those 5 Brilliant Foundables we talked about, this is where they all are. Now you should already have Salazar, Slytherin, and Helga Hufflepuff just from having to collect them and being able to get them on the overworld map. Argus Filch would come from the fortresses, so that's 3 images ready to place, and the other 2 are the Bloody Baron and the Fat Friar. And that's why I say, if you walk those port keys, during those first 4 tasks, if you're walking them, if you can just get through 3 of each, so it'll be 6 total, you would have both their images ready to place. You can place all 5 of them, and boom, you're done with that particular task. If not, if you're not able to walk Portman 2, then what you're going to need to do is do one of those images 2 more times. My recommendation would probably be fortresses. You should have enough runestones by now to run it more times and get Argus Filch a couple more times. If you are in a really high spawn area, you could get another 20 of Salazar Slytherin or Helga Hufflepuff. It kind of depends on what your playstyle is and just what's available to you. But for me, at least, the fortress method tends to be the fastest. I'm gonna be able to finish that faster if that's the case. Next up is to earn 12,500 wizarding experience to get you a spell book. You don't really have to focus on this. Just play the game and you're gonna end up completing this task. Again, a Barufios is gonna help you along. And this is any kind of experience, so it could be within fortresses. It can be from placing those images you just placed. So really, any way you get wizarding experience is going to work for this. The third task in the bonus task is no stranger to us. Win in your highest unlocked chamber. It gets you a silver key. So again, same as we've always been doing. That's going to get you a good chunk of wizarding experience, especially if you're in like a dark 5. That'll get you a good chunk toward that 12,500. The fourth task is to use 10 Extimulo potions, any type, in wizarding challenges. It gets you 2 wit sharpening potions. As per usual, since we have to do our highest unlocked chamber, which is dark 5 for me, I just use Extimulos almost constantly during that chamber just to get through these 10 Extimulos. Now, I will say, you're going to need to have the Extimulos to use for this. So during step 3, when you have to brew 7 potions, my recommendation there is to brew Extimulos. You could brew healing because they're short as well, but go ahead and brew the Extimulos because you're going to need them for the bonus tasks anyway. And the last task here, I was just talking about this in a video, like a week ago, so I'm going to go ahead and say that, wow, I can't believe Portkey listened to me and did this, but they probably didn't. But anyway, I did talk about this, that I wanted to see more of this come back, which is to cast 25 great spell casts, and it's going to get you some spell energy. Who cares about the reward? Just something that's encouraging people to get better at the game. I actually still think that this should be back in one of the first 4 tasks, because some people, more casual players, might not even make it to the bonus tasks. But I do like that they're including this instead of the walking 5 port keys or Portman 2. I definitely like this better, making us have to practice being good at something. So cool with this task. Happy that it's there. If you finish the bonus tasks, you're going to get some family experience, you're going to get some regular experience, you're going to get a new title, that type of thing, but you are going to get a gift, and the gift should be an Extimulo ingredient gift. And then, as I said before, 3 fragments of both the Bloody Baron and 3 fragments of the Fat Friar, just in case you haven't finished those. You'd then be able to place those images now if you needed to, which I'm glad they did put that back for people that maybe aren't able to walk the Portman 2. So that is about everything you need to know. I do feel like I love the idea of the gifts because it is the holidays, but I feel like they're being a bit stingy, but as I thought about it more, I do realize there's a second part to this event. So I'm going to reserve judgment until we get to the second part of the event, because maybe the gifts then will actually ramp up, which would be cool. It kind of ramps up as we get toward the holiday season. But ramp up to actually giving us like a tonic for trace detection gift, a Barufio's gift, maybe the gold gift. Oh my gosh, that'd be cool. But that would be a cool gesture on their part, because they're really giving it to us to give to other people, which is just, I think, really cool to be able to do. Especially because maybe a more hardcore player will be able to give a more casual player some of these better gifts, which would be cool just for them to be able to receive that. So right at the end here, if you're going to be reminded of anything, it's have Teutonic for trace detections ready to go. Do not open your registry before step 2. Save all your images for the bonus tasks. If you do those 3 things, everything else can kind of fall in line and you'll be all right. As always, thank you guys for watching this guide, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Knox.